attest to that, but we have Deb Herman, Chief Executive Officer, and Candace Martin, Special Projects Coordinator for NNI, to give us their annual update. And you'll know that we have a resolution on the agenda tonight to support NNI.
Great. Good evening. I appreciate being here. I've got one of our new employees, Candace Martin, is here with me. Has been about 6 weeks maybe, been here. We're bringing her on, that's for sure. We are Northland neighborhoods, and what's important about Northland is especially those from Gladstone will remind us often that we're Northland. We're not Kansas City, we're Northland. As you can see from many of our numbers, or you'll see here, she tells me there's something here that did I go the wrong direction? There we go. There we go. Very happy to provide services wherever we can help the community. And of course, a lot of times what we hear about and what you get the most information is about home repair. Home repair is certainly important to us for the seniors or for all the families, and we serve all of them. Not only we want the house to be comfort, we want it to be safe for families now, but we're also, it's important to us to try to save the house so it'll be there for the next generation. We've all seen some of our neighborhoods that by the time someone's done with the house is done too. So we work, and as you can see in Kansas City this last year, we've spent about $150,000 on home repair. As you can see, all of those go from plumbing to roofs to siding to windows to foundations. In fact, the staff that we've got, which is Cliff, is one of our, Cliff and David are home repair people. If I ever have an argument with them, it's because I'm telling them we can't help everyone. People find every time to find some way to help them. So I'm very proud of that. We're very proud to be help the Northland, to help Gladstone. Clay County is making it tougher and tougher to get the work done in not just in Kansas City, but in Gladstone also. We did, though, what I'm very proud of. We've got a new funder, which is Health Foundation, which is being very generous to us for improvements in the Northland. So we're very proud of that. Coming on to now, you can see we've had the neighborhood meetings here for just Gladstone. We've also had several thousand newsletters made. One thing we didn't mention here is we also have, and I can keep moving this, I guess. As you can see, here's the list of different things that we've done. We will also, getting into this program the next couple of weeks, we'll start vaccines. We do all kinds of vaccines for the Northland, and they're going to have kids all summer long, will be kids getting vaccines. We especially continue that when school starts, and we work very closely with North Kansas City. I don't know if you've got kids that were in school, my kids were, and if for some reason they missed a shot, they used to send a note home saying you got to get their shot and you have 2 weeks or you have 30 days, and they won't be able to go to school if you don't get it. Not anymore. If they go to school and they don't have the shot, they go home that moment. They cannot stay in school. Especially for low-income folks, that is really, really tough, that your kid has to go home now, and now you have to make an appointment and get a vaccine. That day, school starts, because that's when people find out. They take their kid to school for the first day, and they're told, no, they can't go to school. We make sure our office is open, and it's open into the evenings. So people, whatever hours you work, you can take care of those vaccines that day and get them back to school. But I'm very proud of what we do. I think certainly the meetings that we have for all neighborhoods, but including Gladstone that use it for meeting space. I think a lot of you have been to the meeting space. I think it works pretty well. With that, I'd be glad to answer any questions or comments that you have. Anything else I should have covered?
Any questions, Deb?
What else can we do to help you?
I think you're doing a good job. We work very, very closely with Bob. I should have mentioned him, Bob Bear, and with the police department that we meet about once a month. The folks from Gladstone are there. And I'm sorry, but we get really kind of weary of Gladstone because it is boring a good portion of the time. Bob knows. And we're glad for you, but that we don't always hear that from the rest of the Northland. But we do appreciate your support. We appreciate the contracts that we have. If there's anything else we can do, let us know. And again, if Bob knows that, we've always done that. We have programs we fall into. We have 7 home repair programs now because we apply continually. All of them have requirements that you have to fill out, that you have to do. But we've had times through the years, it's been a while, where Gladstone has said, we want to do something different. I know one year we did just furnaces. I think we did 5 furnaces. If something comes up, we'll find a way to do it. So let me know. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Anything else?
Thanks, Deb.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I won't take
All right, and next we'll have Fire Chief Mike Desitel present an update on the 2025 Emergency Operations Plan.
Good evening, everyone. So what I'm bringing you tonight is just an update on the regional plan for MARC, the 2025 Hazard Mitigation Plan update. In order for us to receive FEMA federal funding, we need to accept or provide a resolution saying that we participated in it and we helped or accepted it as a city. So that's all this is. Every 5 years, every jurisdiction has to participate. The 2025 plan's been updated. Hazard mitigation. So really it's just, what are the things that we have in place in the event of an emergency or disaster at a regional level? And that's where Marker comes into play. So it's just a comprehensive document. Basically, it's the same as our emergency operation plan, but just looks at it from a more holistic standpoint. Sorry. And again, it's to ensure our community is better prepared for future disasters. Again, in order for us to receive federal FEMA monies in the event of a disaster, we have to participate at a regional level and we have to accept it as a city. So it's obviously crucial to protecting our community. So when we look at the things that are in our emergency operation plan, things like tornadoes, flooding, ice storms, snowstorms, things like that, some of the projects that we work on in the city actually affect a regional response plan. So if you think about the tornado sirens, they're pretty much ready to be replaced. They've been here since I've been here. I don't know, maybe the mayor could tell us when they went in. No. No, just season. There wasn't? Just, no. But replacing those is a big ticket item, and there's a lot of federal money out there, you know, to help with doing that. So we want to take advantage of those opportunities. The stormwater mitigation projects throughout the city, the cave system and things like that, all plays into the regional plan. So these are all things that are included in Marker's regional plan. So again, safeguard lives, preserve property and infrastructure, and build resilient communities. That's what it's all about. So if we falter, the neighboring communities around us also have difficulty. So it's, we've all seen it when there's a major event, everybody comes together to get the job done and help everybody. That's it. It's that slick. The EOP, what I did is I went in, updated all the contact information, all the position changes and things like that, but the base plan itself has not changed. Hopefully we can have an exercise later on in the year and kind of go through it and figure out everybody's roles and responsibilities. Does anyone have any questions?
You know, we joke, and I'm sure we can all remember this though, but when I was a kid living in Gladstone, we did not have tornado sirens. And there would be cars come by with big speakers on the roof with sirens. blaring sirens and announcements. Yeah, you're about to die.
Kind of like the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, like Blues
Yeah.
Brothers, right, exactly.
Yep. No, they used to use the fire trucks too. That's why we had PAs on the emergency vehicles. We would drive around and notify the neighborhoods. That's actually a backup plan if they fail.
Yeah,
We still have that capability.
good. Any questions of the chief? Yeah, that's right, that's true. All right,
Redundancies, right?
yep, thank you.
Thanks.
Well then, we went from being behind schedule to ahead of schedule. So we shall convene our council meeting at 7:30. Gladstone City Council meeting. Madam Clerk, please note that all council members are present. And will you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Colors were presented by Carla Gleaton and Jim Cox. Thank you so very much. Next item is approval of the agenda. Is there any additions, changes, corrections to the agenda? Shall stand approved. Item 5 is approval of the June 9, 2025 closed city council meeting minutes.
Mayor Smith,
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
I move for the approval of the June 9 closed city council meeting minutes.
Second?
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 6, approval of the June 9, 2025 regular city council meeting minutes.
Mr. Mayor, move to approve the June 9th regular city council meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we have a proclamation for National Parks and Recreation Month. So this proclamation highlights the many benefits of parks and recreation, including promoting physical and mental health, reducing antisocial behavior, boosting economic development, supporting environmental sustainability, and enhancing community livability. It emphasizes that access to these programs and spaces is a right for all people, regardless of background. As mayor, and on behalf of all the members of the Gladstone City Council and all Gladstone residents, I hereby proclaim July 2025 as National Parks and Recreation Month in Gladstone, and encourage everyone to recognize the essential role that parks and recreation plays in enhancing quality of life year-round. And to accept this is our new Parks and Recreation Director.
Parks, communities need parks. Our parks need communities. We're strongest when our mayor and city council support our parks. So just on behalf of the staff and our city, our community, just thank you for supporting our parks. It just helps make Gladstone a special place. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I know that the city manager is planning to introduce you. I will still use the thunder, but I'm glad to have you. I'm not going to let you down. We have communications from the audience. Members of the public are invited to speak about any topic not listed on our agenda. While speaking, please state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 5 minutes. Yes, sir.
My name is David Nelson, and I'm proud to be a citizen of Gladstone. And when your mayor asks how you're doing, and he knew that I had a stroke several weeks ago, I'm appreciative of that, but I'm not here to talk about that. Mayor, council members, and neighbors, good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. I rise tonight with a simple invitation, but one with lasting meaning. On the morning of Thursday, July 4th at 9:30, we'll gather at the Atkins Johnson Historic Farm right here in Gladstone for a community tradition that connects us to the very heart of our nation's founding, a public reading of the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution, a public reading that will take place at our own Atkins Johnson Historic Farm, which every moment becomes more beautiful because of what you are making possible. This is a local event for our neighbors, by our neighbors. We won't have fireworks or parades, just the words that launched a revolution and built a republic. We'll read them aloud, together under the open sun where history feels close and community feels strong. We'll hear them read in a number of different languages. I'm hoping we'll have Spanish, Laotian, several other ethnic languages, read in different languages. This will mark the official beginning of Gladstone 12-month commemoration leading to America's 250th anniversary in 2026. Over the next year, we'll remember not only what our founders declared, but also what they demanded of us: participation, courage, and a commitment to the common good. So I invite all of you here in the chamber and those watching online, join us at 9:30 on the 4th of July at our own historic Atkins Johnson Farm. Bring a lawn chair, bring a friend, bring your curiosity, and if you're active online, we'll be honored if you'd help us spread the word to get more people there. This may be a small event in size, but it's large in spirit. These readings remind us that democracy is not inherited, it's practiced, and it starts right here in places like Gladstone, where people still believe that the words of our founding documents matter. We hope to see you there. And I do have an announcement that those of you that would like it, I would.
Yes, please.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. I'll post this at my place of business.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. And Bob, can we get some things out on social media via our sites, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Next is communications from the City Council. Councilman Nave.
Thanks, Mayor. I had the opportunity this week to attend my first Parks Board meeting, where we welcomed Jordan Brown as our new Director of Parks and Recreation. So welcome, Jordan. Again, I don't want to steal City Manager's thunder here, so I'll leave all of the other great things about Jordan for him. But really, just an amazing group in our Parks Board. Really pleased with the work that they're doing because we have a great slate of events coming for this summer season. We covered the pickleball courts, which should be opening here shortly, an update on the AJ Farm, the Happy Rock Butterfly Islands, and the start that we've already gotten with grading on the dog park. Theater in the Park is happening this weekend, so we're going to have Elf is the 4th of July, and then Annie is to follow later in August. Golf Classic is, oh, it's reversed? Okay. So Annie is this weekend, okay. The Golf Classic will be back on August 8th, and just an FYI for our community center members, the pool cleaning will be happening here next week, planning for it to open back up on July 12th. So if you're interested, there are some discounted passes for the outdoor pool. wanted to pass that along.
Great, thank you. Councilman Davis.
Thank you, Mayor. I think the only thing I would like to say is we will not get together before the 4th of July, and just want to make sure that everyone reflects on what that really means and be proud of who you are and proud of where you live. Hope to see everybody at the 4th of July celebration. And I think we will all be there for some nice fireworks as well. And that's it.
Thank you. Councilmember Swallow.
Nothing this evening, Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
Thank you, Mayor. The mayor and I attended the Planning Commission meeting last week, and Assistant City Manager Austin Greer gave a great presentation on all the exciting projects in the city that are happening, and I think the planning commissioners enjoyed hearing that update. Because of a lack of quorum, the election of a new chair for the Planning Commission will take place at their next meeting. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I would imagine that Chief Ferris expects me to look directly at him and ask him how his plan is for fireworks enforcement going. With a little proactive enforcement as well? Okay, thank you. City Manager Bob Bear, and you must introduce Jordan Brown, or am I in big
I'm
trouble?
going to save that for the very end because I got everybody on suspense here. A couple things. City Hall will be closed on Friday, July 4th in observance of Independence Day. And so as a couple of you have mentioned, don't forget about the event at Oak Grove Park starting at 7 p.m., live entertainment, and then the fireworks display at dusk, usually around 9:30. We have our annual electronics recycling event happening Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Public Works Facility. Gladstone residents can drop off a variety of electronics for free, including computer CPUs, towers, printers, and more with proof of residency. Registration is now open for Gladfest Smokefest, which is going to be a new event at Gladfest, managed by our own Assistant City Manager, Austin Greer. New barbecue competition happening October 3rd and 4th. It's going to be amazing barbecue, family fun, and a shot at over $2,000 in prizes. So face-off teams will make ribs, ribeye, and baked beans. And you can find more on the city's website for more information. And he's reminded me that 3 teams have already signed up. So we're encouraging a lot more to sign up. And last and certainly not least, I want to introduce our new Parks and Rec and Cultural Arts Director, Jordan Brown. Jordan's got a Parks and Rec background with the city of Kansas City. He's also got a finance and budget background. He is a Northlander. He's got a master's degree in public administration from KU, and he's also a captain in the Kansas National Guard. So his resume was quite full and popped out when we read it, and he interviewed very well, obviously, and we welcome him to our team and to our family, and we have a pretty close-knit leadership team, and his first day he started in the leadership team meeting. And I reminded him it took me over 30 years to get to that meeting, and he did that on his first day. So congrats, and welcome aboard, and we're glad to have him.
Mr. Brown, is there anything else you would like to say? This is your chance. Excellent. Welcome. Next item is the consent agenda. Madam Clerk, will you please explain and read the consent agenda?
A consent agenda allows the City Council to consider and approve routine items of business without discussion. Any member of the City Council, the city staff, or the public may request removal of any item from the consent agenda and request that it be considered under the regular agenda if discussion or debate of the item is desired. Items not removed from the consent agenda will stand approved upon motion by any council member, Second unanimous vote to approve the consent agenda as published or modified. Consent agenda, consider special event permits. Oak Grove Park, Theater in the Park, Friday through Sunday, June 27, 28, 29, and August 1, 2, 3, 2025, 5 o'clock to 11:30 p.m. Independence Day celebration, Friday, July 4, 2025, 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock p.m. Consider building permit 4101 Northeast Pleasant Valley Road, Atkins Johnson Farm Event Center project. Resolution R-25-34, a resolution adopting the Mid-America Regional Council 2025 Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan for Cass, Clay, Jackson, Platte, and Ray counties in Missouri. Resolution R-25-35, a resolution amending the employee handbook for the city of Gladstone, Missouri. Resolution R-25-36, a resolution authorizing acceptance of work under contract with the Deister Company Incorporated and authorizing final payment in the amount of $38,389 for the water treatment plant East Primary Basin Bearing Replacement Project WP2492G. Consider monthly financial update, May year-to-date 2025.
Mayor. I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. I might ask, was there anyone in the audience, council or staff, who wished to have an item removed from the consent agenda?
No, Mayor.
We do have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 12 is the first reading, Bill number 25-18, an ordinance approving a collective bargaining agreement with the International Association of Firefighters, local number 42, and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement.
Mayor Smith.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
I move for the first reading of bill, I move to place bill number 25-18 on its first reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk, will you please read the bill?
First reading, Bill number 25-18, an ordinance approving a collective bargaining agreement with the International Association of Firefighters, local number 42, and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement.
Mayor Smith.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 25-18, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk?
Second reading, Bill number 25-18, an ordinance approving a collective bargaining agreement with the International Association of Firefighters, local number 42, and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement.
Mayor Smith.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
I move to accept the second reading of bill number 25-18 and enact it as ordinance number 4.702.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Nave?
Aye.
Councilman Davis?
Aye.
Councilmember Spallo?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore?
Aye.
Mayor Smith?
Aye. Bill number 25-18 has been enacted as ordinance number 4.702. Item 13 is first reading, Bill number 25-19, an ordinance approving an amendment to the collective bargaining agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police, FOP, West Central Missouri Lodge number 50, and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement.
Mayor Smith.
Councilmember Davis.
I move to place bill number 25-19 on its first reading.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk?
First reading, Bill number 25-19, an ordinance approving an amendment to the collective bargaining agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police, FOP, West Central Missouri Lodge number 50, and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement.
Mayor Smith.
Councilmember Davis.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 25-19, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk?
Second reading, Bill number 25-19, an ordinance approving an amendment to the collective bargaining agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police, FOP, West Central Missouri Lodge number 50, and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement.
Mayor Smith.
Councilman Davis.
I move to accept the final reading of Bill number 25-19 and enact bill as ordinance 4.703.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Nave?
Aye.
Councilman Davis?
Aye.
Councilmember Spalo?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore?
Aye.
Mayor Smith?
Aye. Bill number 25-19 has been enacted as ordinance number 4.7703. Oof. Item 14, first reading, bill number 25-20, an ordinance authorizing Unite Private Networks LLC, DBA Segra, to use the city's rights of way to construct, install, operate, and maintain fiber facilities, and authorize the city manager to execute a rights of way use agreement therewith.
Mayor Smith,
Councilmember Spalo.
I move to place bill number 25-20 on its first reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
First reading bill number 25-20, an ordinance authorizing Unite Private Networks LLC, DBA Segra, to use the city's rights of way to construct, install, operate, and maintain fiber facilities, and to authorize the city manager to execute a rights of way use agreement therewith.
Mayor Smith,
Councilmember Spalo.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 25-20, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk?
Second reading bill number 25-20, an ordinance authorizing Unite Private Networks LLC, DBA Segra, to use the city's rights of way to construct, install, operate, and maintain fiber facilities, and to authorize the city manager to execute a rights of way use agreement therewith.
Mayor Smith,
Councilmember Spalo.
I move to accept the second and final reading of bill number 25-20 and enact the bill as number 4.704.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Nave?
Aye.
Councilman Davis?
Aye.
Councilmember Spalo?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore?
Aye.
Mayor Smith?
Aye. Bill number 25-20 has been enacted as ordinance number 4.704. As of this date, item 15 is first reading bill number 25-21, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute up to 3 monthly agreements between the city of Gladstone, Missouri, and the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority to provide Iris public transportation services beginning July 1, 2025.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilman Nave.
I move to place bill number 25-21 on its first reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk?
First reading bill number 25-21, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute up to 3 monthly agreements between the city of Gladstone, Missouri, and the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority to provide Iris public transportation services beginning July 1, 2025.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilman Nave.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 25-21, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk?
Second reading bill number 25-21, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute up to 3 monthly agreements between the city of Gladstone, Missouri, and the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority to provide Iris public transportation services beginning July 1, 2025.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilman Nave.
I move to accept the second and final reading of bill number 25-21 and enact the bill as ordinance number
Let's go 4.705.
4.705. Thank you, sir.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Please
Mayor
call the roll.
Smith.
Yes, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Thank
Councilmember
you.
Moore.
I wonder if we could just take a moment for City Manager Bear to explain this because of our transportation woes.
Yes, Iris has been on again, off again, depends heavily on Kansas City funding. At one point, we were told Iris was no longer going to be a thing. So then the very same day after we posted that it was coming to an end, then they suddenly found funding. So we're not real confident that the funding is going to remain there for a full year. Hence, we are going month to month with Iris because our contract expires on June 30th. So July 1st, we're going to go month to month. Their new rates are pretty much $20 a ride. A little pricey. So we're looking at other alternatives for rideshare that may be more in line with our budget. We're in conversations, but in negotiations, but we haven't made any final decisions yet. So 3 months is probably going to buy us a little bit of time.
Thank you.
Good question. Call the roll, please.
Councilman Nave?
Aye.
Councilman Davis?
Aye.
Councilmember Spalo?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore?
Aye.
Mayor Smith?
Aye. Bill number 25-21 has been enacted as ordinance 4.705. Item 16 is Resolution R-25-37, a resolution adopting the 2026 annual operating budget for the city of Gladstone, Missouri, and authorizing the expenditures of funds for municipal services.
Mayor Smith.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
I move for the adoption of Resolution R-25-37.
Second?
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 17, Resolution R-25-38, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement between the City of Gladstone, Missouri and Northland Neighborhoods Incorporated for the provision of consulting services to support the development and revitalization of neighborhoods from July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2026.
Mayor Smith.
Councilman Davis.
I move for the adoption of Resolution R-25-38.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Is there any other business to come before the council this evening? None. We shall be adjourned. Thank you.